As you look forward to your new arrival, there'll be many things to consider. It can seem like the list of requirements for a baby is never ending. Raising a child in the UK, from birth to the age of 21, costs on average more than £200,000. And often, budgets are most strained in the early stages. Planning wardrobes, buying the essentials, and choosing toys for your baby will become a way of life. The financial burden can be difficult to reconcile with the desire to fill your new baby's nursery with everything he or she will need, so it's useful to take time to plan ahead to ensure you get the essentials just right, especially considering that you may be unable to commit to a full-time job during the early stages of your baby's life. Maintaining a balance between work, home and socialising can be incredibly hard, but it's crucial for your own happiness and for a positive family life. We met with Susan Engvall from me&i to discuss different options that parents may have available to them.
I'm Susan Engvall, and I'm the founder of the me&i company, Swedish company, that designs children's clothes and women's wear. The clothes are made for play in and should be easy to put on for the children. In the beginning, we couldn't find the kind of clothes that we wanted for our kids, so that's the reason why we started.
My name is Pernilla Kemp, and I'm head of sales for me&i in the UK. So I look after all our representatives and the brand in the UK. We sell a range of baby clothes, children's clothes up to the age of 14, and we have a ladies' range as well. So the kids' clothes, all about fun colours and prints and lots of different things, and the ladies' range is very much about versatile clothing that's going to work really well for mums. So they're actually designed for a mum's body as well, so looking stylish but comfortable at the same time.
I'm Claire. I've been a me&i representative for nearly 4 years. It's one of the big perks of being a me&i representative. I have this fantastic wardrobe just kind of waiting for me. And it all just blends in with my existing wardrobe. You know, key pieces, classic, comfortable, just right. I mean, I don't have to think too hard about it, and I just don't have time to think hard about what I'm wearing.
There are clothes out there which are non-gender specific. A lot of them tend to be in palettes of grey, cream, things with stars on, which are they're all very good, but they are a bit plain. And so it's nice when you can maybe have something that has a bright primary colour on it, or an animal, or something that a boy or a girl could wear that's fun and not too sort of plain. And I think as long as you have a few vests, a few sleep-suit all-in-ones, for the first few months, that's really, you can just keep them in those. And then just things that are soft, soft trousers and little tops. You don't need too much. And you have the washing machine on all the time anyway. The other thing I wouldn't be without are the soft muslin cotton squares, because I go through those like anything. They're very good for all manner of occasions.
Well, when you've got a little one on the way, it's very easy to get kind of a little bit overwhelmed by all the things that are out there. But they don't need very much when they're tiny. They do need comfortable, soft, well-fitting clothes, a couple of vests, a couple of bodysuits. You don't want to be having to do the washing all the time either. You know, these are precious early weeks. You want to spend as much time with the cuddles and less time with the laundry. So have plenty, half a dozen of each is good. A couple of little jackets, maybe cardigans to wrap them up in. When they're very tiny, it's nice to have things to cover their hands, maybe, because little nails can get scratchy. So mittens are good, little socks. But really, they can keep it really simple. They're little. They're babies. They just need to be comfy and snug, and you only need to change them when they get dirty, and that's all.
You just don't have a clue with your first, and you do tend to go out and just buy a whole range of stuff which you maybe don't need. I think with my first, I had a slight panic attack about 2 weeks before I was due to give birth, and I was in a shop and there was so much on offer. I just thought, I don't know how to dress a baby.
I think when you have a child, you don't have any experience of having had children before. So at every stage, it's something new that you need to, and they're changing all the time. So you need to sort of keep up with them and adapt to changing behaviour, changes in what they're doing and what they're into, like baby grows, baby vests, really simple clothes that are easy to get on and off, that will wash easily, that aren't necessarily pink or blue.
With a boy, well, my boy in particular, liked to be outside a lot. So obviously the clothes I was buying for him needed to be able to be washed a lot, to be, especially on the knees, the elbows, where clothes tend to fray on little boys because he was on the go all the time. My daughter, not so much. She was very much more into sitting down and doing quiet activities.
They're really, really hard-wearing things. Not hard-wearing in the sense that, you can scrub them necessarily, but they wash brilliantly and keep the colours and the shape, and the way we select the materials that we use it comes back to that, really. We want the clothes to be to last a long time, and when you buy something that you really, really like, which tends to be our very distinctive clothing, you want it to last and you don't want to let go. I remember those first few items that I bought for my daughter that I really, really liked, and I just didn't want to let go of them. And you want something that can almost grow with your child and that you can hold on to for as long as possible.
It's mainly the high quality of the clothes and the unique design, and the high quality makes it long lasting, so you can have it for all the siblings.
Probably in terms of the dresses, you can get a few years out of them, and it depends on how you want them to be worn. And I know of people who've had our baby trousers and got a year's worth out of the baby trousers, whereas with baby clothes, you think, they'll be in and out of it in no time. But actually, there are lots of clever design features and ways to make them last a long time. And then, of course, the quality's there to match that as well. I definitely say they grow a lot to start with. And if you buy lots of little things, you're not going to see them much, and you're not going to necessarily use everything. So keep the very first wardrobe not too big, because they could be out of it in weeks. Also, it could be a good idea, if you have had some scans, you have an idea if you have a small baby or a long baby. Think about that, because in my case, for instance, my daughter didn't need the newborn sizes at all because she was so long when she was born, so that was all out the window. You probably want to have one or two particularly nice items that you want when they're little, but then it's definitely a good idea to focus on the sizes as they come into sort of 3 to 6 months as well. Then you'll get to see much more of the clothing. So you need a balance of the plainer stuff that maybe isn't going to last as long, and the more favourite stuff that also you want them to wear for a long time.
My daughter is quite a tomboy, and my son's not particularly sporty, so actually we do meet somewhere in the middle, so it's not too bad. Yeah, it's actually more of a problem that there's 4 years between them. I find that harder to deal with because they're sort of at different levels due to their age rather than their gender.
We do some inspirations trips where we go out and see what's out in the stores, for example. But it can also be if we go to a restaurant and on the menu we see a certain print or something. We pick up ideas from everywhere, wherever we go.
I like the patterns that come out each season. They're good for the boys and the girls. So I think they're timeless. So if I buy something for my older daughter, I know that I can keep it for years, and Freya can wear it.
The me&i cut is quite slim and quite long, so that you can, and also you can buy it a little bit big and it doesn't swamp them. And that's really important, to have some growing space in your children's clothes. They grow really fast, particularly that first year. So in order to be able to get some wear out of your clothes, you want to be able to buy them a little bit bigger. We've got long sleeves that you can fold the cuffs back, for example, so you can buy it a little bit larger. Our dresses are a kind of A-line shape, So again, it can start as a dress, then it becomes a tunic with leggings, and then it can be a t-shirt. So it's really easy, and you get a lot of wear out of them that way. My children range from 4 to 10 years old, and they wear an awful lot of me&i. And I love it because it just all goes in the washing machine. I don't have to iron it. I wash it again and again and again, and the colours stay great. The fabric is such good quality. It really holds its colour and holds its shape so nicely. And I pass things on from one child to the other, from my children on to their cousins to friends. It just goes round and round, and it still looks fantastic.
Yes, I mean there's basics like bodysuits and vests, and which will see you through most seasons really. And then you can wear it with nothing else if it's hot, or you wear it underneath a baby crow or a onesie, or with trousers and possibly even a t-shirt on top when it's colder. So it's a lot about layering. So you have to go a little bit with your instinct as well. And is it hot? Is it cold? Is the baby going to be comfortable with what you have? And of course, having layers that you can put on and take off makes a big difference.
I think when you're pregnant or when you have a little baby, there's a lot of advice out there. People are always wanting to tell you what worked for them, and sometimes that will work for you as well, and sometimes it won't. You've got to feel confident enough to pick and choose. Your health visitor or your midwife will have the kind of medical information you need, but it's the little details that you pick up from friends, like, well, how do you manage with a toddler and a small baby? How do you manage to actually get out the door? How do you those little tips you get from friends who've done it before. And I think for me, being able to take advice from a lot of little different people was really useful. For me, the postnatal classes and postnatal groups just saved my life. They gave me a structure, even twice a week, meeting for coffee, at somebody else's house, just have a chill, someone else knows what's going on. You can talk about nappies or breastfeeding or whatever's kind of going through your head. If you know that baby's a few weeks or a few months older, you can kind of see what's coming. What are they reaching for? Oh my God, it's crawling. When did that happen? And you learn from experience, you learn from the friends around you.
And at the party today, there were 2 other new mums, and it's nice to chat and to see what you're all going through at the same time. And, if you're having feeding difficulties, or that it's not just you. So, yeah, these parties are great for meeting up with other mums, and you can bring your babies along with you.
Join us after the break to find out more.
Are you interested in fashion and design? Would you like to decide your own working hours to fit around your family? Do you enjoy meeting people and making new contacts? If you're self-motivated and enthusiastic, then me&i has the perfect opportunity for you. Join our mums-based sales team and run your own business at minimal cost with full support. Visit our website for more information. Get in touch today.
Welcome back. For new parents, the change in circumstances can bring a sense of isolation. Engaging with social groups, social media and hobbies, and maintaining close friendships can be key to a thriving family life. We rejoin Pernilla Kemp for a look at how mixing with other mothers and new parents is a vital part of new life with a baby.
It's completely essential, I would say. Yes, definitely. The postnatal groups are fantastic, and that's how you can vent your questions and frustrations. It's much easier to talk things through with somebody you know and you have close to hand, and you can see what they're going through with their children. Then there's lots of really obviously useful information on the internet and from experts, but there's nothing that beats having your network around you. It's something that is integral to our brand, something that actually has been with us from the start. It's how we sell our clothes. We sell them through the home party model, which in turn means that we have business opportunities for mums who want to start their own business on a very small scale, very low startup costs, and you work from home. You don't necessarily work in your home, because actually you find people who offer to host parties for you, and you go to somebody else's house and show the clothes. But in a lot of circumstances, it means that you can bring your little ones with you, or maybe you actually get a bit of a break of an evening and get to come out of the house, particularly if you tend to be at home for a lot of the day and looking after children. Then it can be really rewarding to come out at night. You get a social life and you get to use your brain again, and yes, and you obviously get to earn money whilst having a great time as well.
I've been a me&i representative for nearly 4 years. I love it. It's just right, and it came along at just the right moment for me. I've had 3 children. When the third one was quite little, and I was starting to think about what I could do and looking for something that would fit in. I mean, I didn't have to take any time away from the children. I could just fit it all in around that, and it was perfect.
I'm a friend of Claire's, so when she started selling the me&i range, I offered to have a party for her and have continued to do so as time's gone on.
For me, being a me&i rep, it was all about having that balance between having all that precious time with my family while they're young, but also getting something to keep me sane, where I'm using my brain, I'm meeting other people, I'm getting out of the house on a regular basis, and that's just completely, that balance is really important.
It's a great way to have your friends round in the evening or during the day, and friends always bring their friends, so it's a good way to meet other people.
It's a great opportunity to be a homestaying mom and to combine that to be a me&i representative. It's a very social, you get a lot of new friends and a lot of fun during your work.
So come and have a little look, come and have a try and browse. Do ask me if there's anything you need, if you need any help with the order form, any help with sizing for your children, I'm here to help.
Right, I do like this
The zebra print, do you like the pink one as well? What would you like to try on?
Smell a
That
lady.
black one, that's a bit big I think, that would be a big size.
Yeah, very good actually. I might try on the, I did like those yoga pants and skirt, because that's something I wear all the time for work.
How are yours? I really like that, I think I might get that for Jake. I love it.
A me&i party is really good fun, and it's also really straightforward. Somebody offers to host, I bring the collection round, I've got one of everything in the current season's collection, and people can have a look at it, they can try it on, they can feel the quality. I can tell them all the background about the company, the owners, the ethos, the ecological and environmental and ethical perspective that's really important to us.
We have all the baby range is organic cotton, and a whole range is what's called Oekotex labelled, so that goes for the ladies' range as well. It's a labelling that guarantees that the clothes are kind to the skin, there are no harmful chemicals in the clothes, but it also has the additional effect of the fact that, of course, there's less of anything harmful used in the first place, so there's fewer risks of anything bad ending up in the environment, and of course there's nothing bad ends up in the environment as a result, because that's all very well taken care of. The factories making sure that they have good environmental policy in place and everything.
For us, it's very important to have control about the regulations, about the working conditions in the factories, for example, so that we are sure that they are well paid and the right salary, and they get overtime and their pension paid as well.
I couldn't work for a company that was making clothes or making anything in a way that was exploiting people or destroying the environment. And what's great is that with me&i, I know that's not the case. Nobody was harmed. No, they have really strong regulations about working conditions. So I know these clothes were made by grown-ups with pensions and holiday pay and important things like that. They were made in Europe, where we can keep a really close eye and actually visit the factories and see that they're doing it properly. There's really strong regulations for things like runoff of chemicals into the water courses. Yeah. We use sustainably sourced cotton, organic, for all the baby clothes as well. So there's just so many reasons why you can feel proud and comfortable with the me&i purchase.
I was very lucky to be invited along by a friend, and I had one myself last year as well, before I was pregnant with this one, because I have 2 older children. I have a boy who's 10 and a girl who's 7. So the me&i clothes are perfect for them. I've bought T-shirts and dresses, and I hope to do the same for this one. And obviously some of the beautiful baby wear as well, these sort of all-in-ones, which
The other two are obviously too old to wear now. But I love the range. It's so fun and classic.
So often we'll do like an evening one with no, and children don't come. Then it's a good way to socialise without having a childcare issue because everyone's left their kids at home with their partners.
I get to go around to people's houses and I drink their tea and I eat their cake and I wear my slippers and I talk about clothes and I can take my little children with me, and I've made so many friends and I'm selling to my friends, I'm building my network, I'm meeting so many people.
Very important, yes. You need to keep your sanity. That's actually a very good point. To be a good mum, you need to look after yourself as well as your child, because you aren't completely obliterated and become just a carer just because you become a mother. You also need to have friends and support and fun, and feel that you're part of the person that you used to be as well. Being a new parent, you have no idea what you're going to be faced with. And I think in those moments where you're so anxious, you're not sure what's going on, I would have just said, you'll get through it. There's an end in sight. And to enjoy, the times when they're crying and you're tired, because they don't actually last that long. They're not babies for that long. And so with her, I'm really enjoying this time because I know she'll be my last, and I feel a lot more relaxed and less concerned about things this time round.
Every stage they go through doesn't actually last for that long, so you can think, my child's not a very good sleeper and it might only last for a couple of nights. And also not to compare your child to other people's children, because they're all so different, and where you might have a problem with one aspect of their behaviour, someone else is having other issues. Yeah. They're just so different. There is no child like another one.
Actually, what I noticed, a lot of my friends were getting quite nervous and worrying a lot. And I think try to enjoy it and not worry too much about what you're doing. Your gut instinct is probably going to be right. And don't worry about whether you're the perfect mother, and the baby's going to be fine. And if you find one day that actually that didn't work so well, you don't do it the next day, but you don't have to worry about doing everything exactly right from the very start.
Starting a family is about juggling different responsibilities, retaining a good income, keeping your baby healthy and happy, and providing a strong support network working together for your child's well-being. Nothing can fully prepare you for the reality of having a baby, but there's plenty you can do to be as ready as possible.